We back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. Thank you for watching Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm gonna give my honest opinion, update, or review while trying to watch my mouth. And judging by these topics, it is not gonna happen, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. I do hope that you guys like the video. Subscribe. If you don't subscribe, that's okay. At least like the video. That's easy and free.
Yes, easy and free. So, y'all, we got a lot of updates that are happening. You know, what we do is we do updates to kind of go show along of people in, these reality TV stars' lives. We be all up in their business, be all talking about what they got going on. That is outside of the shows we normally would recap. So a lot of these are split between me and Mrs. Best as far as what the topics are going to be about. So the first subject we're going to talk about, I thought was interesting because if y'all know my story of how I became who I am, this person, well, not this person, but the person she's talking about had a lot to do with why I became the person I became. So, our first topic we're going to talk about is Scheana Shay. I think that's how you say her name. If not, oh well. I'm not even going to go there. But Scheana Shay. So, for those of y'all like, James, who the hell is this woman? Why do we care? So, for y'all who do not know, Scheana Shay is one of the stars of Vanderpump Rules. She was on the show, I believe, the first season. How long did she do the show, Mrs. Best? Because you know the show, I don't.
Scheana I am a super fan of Pump Rules, don't ask y'all. But Scheana has been a part of Vanderpump Rules since season 1 of the show. We first saw her in the crossover episode that was in Beverly Hills, earlier seasons with that. Because of her affair that she had with Eddie Cibrian, who was cast member and at the time Lisa Vanderpump's good friend Brandy Glanville, who is now on the internet looking like she might need a Benadryl. But she's been a part of Vanderpump Rules since season 1, and she's pretty much relevant for this affair.
Yes. So for those of y'all who do not know, she's very relevant for having a very public affair with Eddie Cibrian, who was once married to Brandy Glanville, who was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which we cover on Mrs. Best Channel. Now, Brandy has not been on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for a minute now, but when she came on the show, it was actually on the tail end of her divorce. So her ex-husband, Eddie Cibrian, who is now the husband of singer LeAnn Rimes, who I'm a huge fan of, had this very public affair, and like with LeAnn Rimes as well, that was also an affair. So Eddie was just out here cheating, just cheating. But she's Shanna is giving that's Shana, whatever the fuck her name is. She's actually going public about her very big affair with Eddie Cibrian. Now, when I got this news, my mouth just dropped because I'm like, now we about to get details. Not she gonna go public about this affair that she had. Now, mind you, it's been almost 20 years since this affair has happened. They had an affair at the tail end of 2006. Now, of course, I knew about this at that time before Brandy even came on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I knew about this affair. And when you look at Eddie, you can't help but think, damn, like, he could whisper at me and I probably would have gave it to him too. Just saying. I'm just saying that man fine. So she says a couple of statements, to kind of put it out there. She says that in a short statement she gave to Entertainment Weekly, she said that our relationship wasn't romantic from the jump, through the writing on the walls from day one. Eddie was the sweetest, funniest, most charismatic, consummate gentleman I had ever met. He also made me feel like I was the only girl in the room when I was working. But Eddie was married, and Shannon had no idea that he was married. Longtime Vanderpump's Real viewers may recall on season 1, episode 1, kicked off with Shannon being confronted about the affair. Ooh. To be clear, Eddie wasn't my boyfriend, or at least not exclusively. She admitted in the memoir. But we did start a physical relationship at the end of 2006, which was a weekly booty call. Damn. She also goes to say the funny thing is that I totally thought I could end up with Eddie. He looked how I always imagined my future husband would, and he treated me as well. She wrote, but I wasn't trying to settle down at the age of 21, and I was keeping my options open and dating other people. Things got more serious later on, though, so much that when I was moving apartments, Eddie came to help me, and then most of my friends, ain't even my mother. Shannon continued, his best friend also joined with his son, who was a toddler at the time. We were literally intertwining our families and the people closest to us. It really felt like we were building something, she added. And what's more, Shan never suspected Eddie was married. Didn't I think that was weird? I never went to his house. No. He lived in Calabasas, supposedly, and I certainly wasn't making the trek to Calabasas in 2007 when Ubers didn't exist, and I had less than $1,000 to my name. It was so much easier and much fun to hang out in Beverly Hills or Hollywood, and my place was closer and more convenient. I didn't see any red flags, especially since we weren't exclusive. So let's see what else she said. Oh yeah, she said one night while working in the cigar lounge where she finally met Eddie, a member apparently approached Shannon and told her that Eddie was married. I didn't believe it, or maybe I didn't want to believe it because I was wild about Eddie. She wrote. And again, we were out together all the time in public, so I didn't feel like some secret mistress. Still, I was freaking out and a massive pit in my stomach, Shannon wrote. She processes to confront Eddie, but he denied being married. It was gaslighting in the most basic form, she recalled. Yeah, I trusted him, so we continued hanging out. And then the final statement was um, she went on a date to a premiere with him and spent her 22nd birthday with him, where he bought her a pair of Marc Jacobs sunglasses, which she still has to this day. But before the relationship eventually faded out, overall, Jesse and I had a great time. Oh wait, that's not the same guy. Whoops, same. That's Jesse Metcalf. Oops, sorry, y'all. But that's messy. That is messy, 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 messy. Messy. I'm glad she's talking about it because I was always curious. So, y'all know Brandy Glanville was not happy about this affair, nor was she happy about the Leanne Rimes affair. We had to hear that for like at least 4 seasons before she finally let it go. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, do you think she's well within her right to tell her version of the story, or do you think she should have just let this go?
Um, I mean, it's a memoir. It was a memoir about her life, so it makes sense that she told her story. It wasn't like Scheana is an attention whore. However, she wrote a memoir, and this is a part of her memoir. It's no different from anybody else who's written a memoir and then suddenly talks about things that people wondered about or asked about. Personally, I think she handled it the right way by defending her character when she came on the show, not saying too much about the relationship. She issued an apology to Brandy. There's not much else the girl can do. She waited and didn't talk about it until she was selling it in her book. So it's not like the whole book is about that. So I don't see the issue. The lady has since been married twice and has a kid. So I don't think she's interested in it, but it's something that people want to know about. And separate from the Bravo TV world, this is the only reason the world knows who Scheana is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, but it was random. The book's timing is random. It's all very random. The thing of it is, no one really cares anymore. I'm more interested in the other side because when Eddie and Leanne got together, it was tumultuous on both sides.
Yes.
So we always hear about Eddie's side and how it impacted like his family, his wife, and all of that. But we haven't heard much about like what happened with Leanne on the other side. So I don't really care too much about it. But Scheana, figure out what you're doing on the Valley. Do that.
Is she on the Valley? Did I miss her?
She's in constant episodes, but she's not an official cast member.
Okay. Yeah, when I first heard this story, like back in the day, I'm just like, damn, Eddie, I did not. But then when I'm thinking how fine he is, I'm just like, yeah, I kind of can see it. Surprisingly, there has been no rumors of him stepping out on Leanne, and I hope he keeps it that way because I don't know how I would look at him if he did, have the same rumors swirling. And I think what makes their marriage work is that they equally did the same thing, had the same ramifications, the same judgment, and the same, outcome. So I can't really be angry and can't say that karma's gonna get them because karma did get them both. They both ended up in divorces and now they married each other. Sometimes that happens, y'all. It happens. Sometimes stuff be messy. That's why I tell people all the time, like, I'm not saying go out there and sleep with everybody's, spouses. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying sometimes stuff does have deeper meanings. And it's one I wish Brandy would have held on to a little bit more because her anger towards this situation in particular and Leanne Ryan's situation in particular was just it just didn't make her look good. Like I got annoyed with Brandy after a while. Like I wanted to feel bad for her. I did when I was watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, especially when he got with Leanne. I wanted to feel bad for her, but I didn't. I don't know. I just could not see it in me to feel bad for her. I just couldn't, and that's terrible. I know, but at the same time, it's like she really milked this. Like Brandy really milked this for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and it got annoying. It really did. It got annoying real quick because when we look at it, it wasn't the first time he cheated on you, and it wasn't the first time he probably fell in love with somebody outside of you. So you should have left him at the first one, like I would have. But but we'll see how where this will go. I don't think Brandy's ever coming back on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, at least not to my knowledge she is. And so I'm wondering what this is going to do for the Bravo world. Like I wonder if she's going to talk about this on the Valley.
Like Brandy, I don't think it will do anything, Scheana, talking about this on the Valley because the Valley is not a show that she's really on. As for Brandy's very vocal, speaking out on her social media. So I feel like if she decides she wants to comment on it, she will. But Brandy's also received an apology from Scheana and has said she doesn't fault her, she faults Eddie. So I don't know. I don't see it going anywhere. I guess it's just for people who care about Scheana and her life. I find it strange that this woman has written a memoir and she's not even 50.
Well, I mean, she went through a lot.
She still has learning to do, and she still has. It's weird.
She went through a lot, but I agree with you. I think to me, because someone asked me when is my memoir going to come out, and I said until I'm 70, when I'm ready for it to come out, and it's going to be probably a 10-volume book because if I write it now, I just got a lot more life to live.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, because to me, I've only been with men what is this? 8 years? Yeah, this is 8 years, going on dating men for 8 years. I have not always dated men. Never really was interested in men. So there's a whole lot more of transition with me than, in my 20s. So I feel like it just wouldn't be a fair book. It just really wouldn't. So I would have to wait some years. But she felt like it was time. When was she blindsided with Leanne or blindsided with this young lady? Because I feel like with Leanne Rhymes, the writing was on the wall. Because he had done this before. So I don't think she was blindsided with Leanne. I think she was blindsided with this young lady personally. But then again, I don't think she was blindsided. I feel like it's always happened. Because you don't just step out and just do. Yeah, I thought that's what you did. Because I was going to say, she wasn't blindsided, but she could have been blindsided with Leanne because he did it before. And for a long period of time. He has done this before. So it's like, you can't be that blindsided. And you have to understand when you choose to forgive people, for this crazy shit, they can tend to do it again. But we wish her the best of luck. We hope that, she can finally put this to rest, move on with her life. And, because Eddie is happy over there in Leanneville, as I would be too if I chose that life for myself. So overall, we wish them all the best of luck. And thank you for giving us the entertainment and pop culture, y'all. So we're going to move it along to another topic that I want to talk about. Now, this next topic we're going to talk about was something that I saw coming a mile away, a minute away. I was not in no way, shape, or form surprised about this. But we're going to ask the viewing audience, were y'all surprised about this? So it has been, Black China has come out and said that her and Derek Milano, what did she say? What was her statement? It was cute too. Let me see. After much prayer and reflection, Derek and I have decided to call off the engagement. We love each other deeply and are good friends, but we both believe that God's guidance has shown us that this is the right path for both of us. As we each continue our journeys, may we find peace and fulfillment in His divine will, trusting that His plan is greater than our own. Angela White. Yes. So these two appeared on Love and Hip Hop Miami, which me and Mrs. Best cover on Mrs. Best channel. Please subscribe to our channel if you would like to see the recaps. But we said this was going to happen. And not because we don't want to see a Black woman get a good Black man. I just didn't see the chemistry. I didn't see the chemistry. I just didn't see it. I didn't see the relationship. I didn't see the romance. I didn't see anything. To me, I saw a man getting a woman he always fantasized about, and I saw a woman finding a man with the access she needed to get herself going again. That's what I saw with these two. I did not see anything beyond that. And I hate that I had to look at their relationship like that, because I feel like they both deserve true love. And if it was with each other, great. But if it wasn't, then so be it. But I just did not see it. Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, did you see these two going the full length?
No. I think that these two probably got together, vibed together. I think they probably both meant well. I just don't feel like we're getting the true Chyna on camera. I think she's leaning into this new era of her, which is biblical, about forgiveness, rebirth, restarting, sobriety. I feel like a lot of it is true, yes, but I also feel like we have to remember that if it takes years for trauma and stuff to impact us, and we make bad decisions for years, we're not just going to turn around overnight and suddenly all of that trauma is away from us and we're just magically healed. I'm not saying that Chyna's done a lot of great, she's done great work on herself, but I'm sure she also still needs to heal. Derek, I feel like he liked her, but I don't feel like he treated it like his wife. Like if he loved Chyna in the way that he intended to, treat a wife, when she said she didn't want to say that word bitch when we saw them on Love and Hip Hop, he would have respected that. He wouldn't have pushed her into a song or anything. So I do also kind of feel like he might have used her a little bit for, like, he was already relevant, but putting him on TV and like making him like thoroughly mainstream. But they just didn't have like the vibes.
Yeah.
She had more chemistry with Rob Kardashian.
Right. I also felt like that too. I felt like, okay, so like for me, this is my opinion on this, you guys. Like, I'm gonna be honest. If she's really trying to do the healing she says she's doing and trying to break away from like the known image that she's used to having, then why go after someone in the music industry? That was always my thing. Like, why go back into the same industry that started what we appear to see? Because you were with a public figure who was a rapper. So I don't understand why you would go back to that kind of element unless you were doing it with the purpose of you want to be this musician. So it only made sense. But to me, I just didn't see. I'm telling you, I tried. I really did. Go back and watch episodes. I tried to see it. I really did. But it just felt like the guy who got with the girl in high school he never could get. And it felt like the girl got the guy who she knew can push the envelope a little bit further. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes that's not romance. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a best friend in the music industry that lends you a hand every now and then with your career, with your craft. There's nothing wrong with that. The same reason it's not a bad idea to go have a good girlfriend who gives you advice and understands you and stuff like that. It does not have to be romantic. I just didn't see it. So I'm not shocked, not surprised. But my next question for Mrs. Best, because Love and Hip Hop is coming back, I'm sure Love and Hip Hop Miami is somewhere around the corner. Do you think these two will appear on Love and Hip Hop Miami? And will this storyline be shown?
I don't know. I would assume so. I don't understand why Chyna came to Love and Hip Hop Miami. At first, I was like, okay, this would be interesting to see how she, involves herself with everybody else, but she didn't really become a part of the storyline. She didn't mediate between people that she'd known for a long time. If they come on Love and Hip Hop Miami, I don't really care to see the breakup or the demise of the relationship. I don't really care to see Chyna on reality TV. If you're so changed, stop doing the shit that you did in your past, which is reality TV and dating these rappers in the industry. I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, y'all, Love and Hip Hop drives me fucking crazy. I'm amazed that the shit is still on TV. Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives, and then y'all love to come on my channel and watch by the hundreds the recaps and stuff. And y'all subscribe, and I appreciate it. But that show drive me crazy. These people get on my nerves. Chyna needs to run far away from all of us and run straight to therapy and an AA meeting.
But what should she do for income, though? That's the thing. Like, do you think she should?
She can make money. She's got her fitness brand. She's rebranded herself as someone positive. She still has connections. She can still make her music. She can make money. Making money is not the problem. The problem is her dating these people in the industry. And if she is going to do reality TV, maybe change the setting, because Love and Hip Hop Miami is just not a setting that someone that's sober and trying to thrive should be in.
Miami's not the city for that at all. And I think I mentioned this on your live. This was the wrong city for her to be in. It's the wrong. I almost would have rather her go to Atlanta than to come to Miami, because there's temptation all over the place in Miami. So I kind of felt like for her to actually stay sober in Miami was a sense of accomplishment, because it's all around you. There are literally lounges on every single corner in Miami. So for her to actually be there and not fall into temptation was a godsend. That's how I know she's on a path of healing. But for me, it just, I hope they don't come back to Love and Hip Hop. I hope they were a one and done like Keisha Cole, and who else did a one and done? Like came on Love and Hip Hop for just like one season and was just done. They just needed it to activate themselves. It was somebody else. I can't remember. Somebody else had a big ass name that came on here and it was like, okay, I'm done. I can't. When I think of that person, I'll let you guys know who I'm talking about. But yeah, well, good luck to them. I hope they both find, respectively, the people they're meant to be with. I don't think it's each other, but good luck to them both. So the last thing I want to talk about, which is an interesting topic, because I think that they're playing with everybody, but you never know. This is how Bravo celebrities act. But something came across the Instagram streets and everyone is talking about it. So with that being said, it's these two. It's these two. So Eva and Michael Sterling, y'all, went to the Essence Fest together. That's them right there on the card. And she put in her captions, soft launch. Now, I actually would love it if these two got back together. I actually would love it because, one, we never really knew the reason why they divorced in the first place. And then two, it was kind of like out of left field because she had praised and did all of this hoopla, when he adopted her daughter, or at least started the process. They changed the last name. And, just all of these things. I didn't see any signs of them ever leaving each other. But, people are human. People make these decisions. You never know what goes on in people's household. So, I don't know if they're dating. I think they're just trolling. I really think they're trolling. I think they just have a good co-parenting situation. I do. And maybe from time to time, they may step out and have dinner and catch up and, just be friends. But the way she put soft launch on here had people talking like, okay, so y'all trying to rekindle something? What is going on? So, Mrs. Best, what do you think could be going on between Eva and Michael Sterling?
Well, I'd like to say they never should have broke up in the first place. Eva is difficult and gets mad and makes rash decisions. And I think that is exactly why the divorce was so amicable. They both denied spousal support. She got to stay in the house with the kids. He happily moved. There was literally no argument in this. No child support, no nothing. It was almost like they knew they shouldn't have broke up and did it anyway. But I'm happy to see them back together. I like them as a couple. I think it's beautiful that he adopted her daughter and was willing to take care of and maintain a relationship with her daughter even after the divorce. I do think that they're probably dating. Here's what happened, y'all. Y'all remember Eva got her new teeth and she probably didn't know how to act for some time, but now she's adjusted to them teeth. And she has her own career. I also think it was a piece of politics. Politics ruins relationships. It really does. My younger sister has a degree in political science, was working for the state of California, ran the fuck away from it. She said politics is something else. You have to sacrifice and give things that are just not enjoyable. So when we met Eva, Mike was running for mayor of Atlanta and he almost won. So she had to kind of put her career and her image and stuff to the back burner so that he could win over, the voters and things like that. Then in addition to that, he's a well-known attorney. So I feel like now that Eva has her success with All the Queen's Men, as well as several other ventures, maybe she feels equal now and they could be together, because I feel like she was the problem in that marriage.
So you feel like if they had issues, she was the issue. Like she wasn't.
Eva is difficult and she's admitted to being that way. She, like, some people wear their trauma difficultly. Hers, she does it by being kind of stubborn. And sometimes you don't need to be stubborn. But these two, if they're back together, I love it. I'm cracking up at the comment that said it's fixable, y'all. Just go home, everybody. Not go back home. I cannot. Like, there are a lot of couples that are spinning the block. It doesn't mean it all works. Like, we were all happy for Nelly and Ashanti until that relationship, that reality show came on, and now we see they shit is a mess.
I haven't watched it yet, and
I haven't watched it either. But if you just look at the clips, the clips are not helping his cause at all. But if they back together, Good for them. Hey, I love it. Her teeth look better too. She must have got them redone.
You don't stop at this lady's teeth. But
I miss her old teeth. They were cute. I don't know why she got rid of them. Now she
probably had issues when she started losing all that weight. She probably had issues, because a lot of the times when you lose weight, periodontal disease becomes stronger in your face element and in your bone structure. So she probably had to do it because, she probably was experiencing bone loss. I know someone that went through that and started losing several teeth after they lost, it was a crazy amount of weight. So, yeah. Oh my God, I haven't either, but Nelly is a fool. Yeah, I've seen a little clips here and there. He definitely is someone I would think twice about before marrying, but them teeth are teeth. Y'all need to stop talking about this lady's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Yeah, you should remember why you left in the first place. You should, but here's the thing. And thank you, LC Charm, for comments. I don't think I've met you yet. Thank you, and welcome to Watch Out Reviews. My thing is this. What happens? Okay, so let me put this question out there. I want you guys to answer this. If we're going by the logic, you should remember why you left in the first place. What if you're the person that did not leave? So what happens then when the person wants to come to you now and say, hey, let's give this another shot? But remember, you're not the person who left the relationship. They left the relationship because they thought they could find better. And then they come back to you just hoping, okay, well, let's spin this block down. I didn't got what I needed. Do you allow them to come back into your life and smile in your face? Or do you make them work for it and up until a point you feel good about yourself and then X them out? What do you do in that instance? I want to know. What do you do when someone who was the problem wants to come back to you? Because to me, I'm just thinking, because if I had it in my mind right, if I had an opinion of how Eva and Mike, my opinion is with Mrs. Best. I think she was the problem. I really do. And I think she filed for divorce because she probably didn't get her way about something. And that's what she did. She looks like she does. She jumps off the deep end when some shit go wrong. She do. This is where a therapist could be helpful. Someone can see and analyze. It really can. But I honestly feel like she was the problem, like Mrs. Best said. I feel like she did some shit she probably didn't have no business doing, thinking she knew better, and probably coming around to him because she realized, hey, a lot of crazy ass men out here. I was fine where I was at. But then the thing about it is that makes me look at him. I'm like, well, are you that insecure, or do you still love her that much where you would take her back at a heartbeat? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Mrs. Best, what do you think?
What do I think? What?
Okay, so what if you were not the problem, and the person who was the problem that left the relationship, wanted to get back with you? What do you do in that instance?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do would really be to follow your gut, not your coochie and not your heart, but the gut. Use your gut and your brain. It really depends on the person. It just really depends on the person and how well you know them. That's hard to like answer generally. It's just hard to know. And that's the thing. That makes it interesting. Like we don't know what's really going on in there. So it's hard to know. But I think Eva knows what she's doing by saying soft launch. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of worry for Mike. I don't know why.
You feel that too? Okay, I thought it was just me. I kind of feel like, sir, are you sure you want to go back through this again?
If
Like,
you don't want me like to points where we like go through a divorce
and
and
actually
you're
go through
just
the
like, I
full
don't
thing.
want you, right, I don't want your money, I don't want shit from you, I just want to be away from you, not be with you no more. Like realistically, if I'm being honest, y'all, if that was me, like I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't.
Me, okay, yes,
I'd
I feel
fuck
the
him,
same
but
way.
I wouldn't trust him.
I don't know if I could do it, y'all. I'm telling you, I don't know if I could do it. Like, I don't know. Like, it would depend. Like, if I'm going full throttle, like full fledged divorce, and not that much time has went by. Like, they only been divorced what, 3, 4 years now. So not that much time has went by. I'm really gonna be like, what is you coming over here for? What is you doing? Why now? Now I could see if decades had went by and we was in our 20s and we was just doing goofy shit and we somehow reconnect. That I could understand because I've seen that happen before where, a couple that hadn't been together in like 10, 15 years and ran into each other randomly and kind of remember what they were like and probably realized the shit they were fighting over wasn't really that bad. But I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see in due time. I'm sure Eva's gonna let us in, and I'm sure we're gonna see a whole bunch of Instagram posts if these two should get back together. I welcome it. I do because I kind of felt like I loved them as a couple. I think that they were great for each other. But I'm hoping it ain't no fuck shit. That's all I'm saying. So good luck, Eva. Good luck, Mike. You know, we wishing you all the best to the best. So that's all the topics I have for my updates, y'all. It wasn't dry, but I just want to talk about the crazy stuff, that I saw. LC Charm said I dated my ex-husband, but I left because his previous drug problem. Yeah, that's a great reason to leave somebody because sometimes you don't want to get involved. And sometimes some people don't know how to help people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that we want to leave you, we just don't know how to help you. And we feel like we're the crutch a lot of the time when you spiral. We're the crutch. We don't know how to tell you, okay, we know you're going through some shit, but we don't know how to really work with you through it. So yeah, I totally get it. But yeah, that was it, you guys. That was all my topics for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do updates every now and then. My next video will be tomorrow. It is Real Housewives of Atlanta, first part reunion. And then next week, me, Shayna, and Mrs. Best will go live, the three of us, to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about Phaedra's interview with Jason Lee. We're going to talk about the first part of the reunion. What we thinking is happening so far, and do we think the potential season 17 will happen? We will see what happens, y'all. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it so much, and I will see you guys on my next recap. Bye bye.